defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
I'll ask about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
talk
seriously.
about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What happens when the biggest star, the one bringing in the most money and attention, starts thinking about leaving your league? That's the situation the WNBA is facing right now. The player who draws the crowds, boosts TV ratings, sells the most jerseys, and keeps the league in the spotlight is fed up. After dealing with constant disrespect, rough treatment on the court, and unfair refereeing, she's had enough, and she might be ready to leave.
I'm almost convinced that the WNBA, along with their microscopic fan base, I'm almost convinced that they don't want to see the WNBA grow. I'm almost convinced that it bothers them that Caitlin Clark has elevated.
Caitlin Clark has completely changed the game. She's the WNBA's biggest draw, and the league should be doing everything it can to support and protect her. There's no question she's the most impactful player the league has ever seen. Still not convinced? Just check the stats. But now, there's talk that she might be ready to walk away. Not from basketball, just from the WNBA. And after watching how she's been treated in recent games, it's hard to blame her.
Became the first rookie with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the 4th different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her.
Ratings are up more than 200%, all thanks to Caitlin Clark. She's not just a rookie, she's completely transformed the league. But instead of being treated like the star she is, she's been treated like a punching bag. TV networks are shifting MLB and NBA Summer League games just to give her national primetime coverage. Her games are selling out arenas, and her jersey sales are through the roof.
This was all game, folks. All game. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were getting checked. All game. The Indiana Fever were getting punked. All game. The referees let this physical style of basketball continue and continue.
Week after week, Caitlin Clark takes hits, shoved, elbowed, smacked in the face, even blindsided, and the refs barely react. Most of the time, nothing's called. And if the foul is so obvious it blows up online, maybe then there's a penalty, but it's usually just a light slap on the wrist after the fact.
And what we saw in this Connecticut Sun game was JC Sheldon picking Caitlin Clark up full court. It was back to rookie year defensive strategies against Caitlin Clark. Guarding her full court, face guarding her, blitzing her on every single screen, double teaming her. Like that was the Connecticut Sun defensive strategy for Caitlin Clark, and JC Sheldon was in her face.
And that's the real problem. The league only steps in when the public demands it, not because it's the right thing to do, and not to protect their biggest star. It's only when social media pressure piles up that they respond. Take the most recent game against the Connecticut Sun. That's when things really boiled over. Clark wasn't just hit once, there were 2 dirty, dangerous plays aimed right at her. Both were completely unacceptable.
As you guys can see here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because JC stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks.
The first hit came before fans even had time to react. Marina Mabrey charged in like a linebacker and slammed Clark to the floor. There was no ball in play, no attempt at defense. It wasn't physical basketball, it was a cheap shot, plain and simple. Then, in another ugly moment, JC Sheldon reached across Clark's face and appeared to poke at her eye. The replay made it clear, it was deliberate, unnecessary, and completely out of line.
Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark.
And why wasn't anyone ejected? Think about it, the league's biggest star gets hit in the eye and then slammed in the chest, all in one game, and the players responsible stay on the court like nothing happened. Not one flagrant foul. No serious call. The refs didn't step in at all. It was total chaos, and no one was held accountable.
You got one player, one valuable asset. You have one star that you should be protecting at all costs. And how does the WNBA treat her? They constantly attack her, they poke her in the eye, then they take cheap shots when she's not.
The woman who brought millions of new fans to women's basketball is now reportedly thinking about leaving the WNBA, not retiring, Not stepping away for a while, but walking away completely. And honestly, the league hasn't given her many reasons to stay. That's when the rumors started. Multiple insiders, team reporters, and even former players are all quietly saying the same thing: Caitlin Clark is reaching her breaking point.
Of course, the referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play, right? So the 3 referees that I like to say, they got them straight out of Sephora because I don't think these referees have ever refereed a professional basketball game.
Let's be honest, if Caitlin Clark walks away, it's a game changer. Without her, the WNBA becomes a different product, one that many casual fans simply won't tune in for. The truth is, after years of fighting for national attention, the league finally got it, because of Clark. And now, they're risking it all by failing to protect her and not even enforcing the basic rules of the game.
Clark should 100% skip this and send a message to the commissioner. And that is about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever take their first trip to the Commissioner's Cup.
What makes things worse? It's one thing to miss a call, but it's something else entirely to keep ignoring blatant fouls against Clark while calling her for the smallest mistakes. The difference is so obvious it almost feels like a joke. When Clark gets hit hard, the whistle stays silent. But if she barely brushes a defender, she gets called. It's a joke, but it's a dangerous one.
The jealous rage was bad enough, but to make matters worse, and this is what most Caitlin Clark fans are pissed off about. Notice I did not say WNBA fans, they don't exist. But the reason most Caitlin Clark fans are pissed off is because the WNBA seems to be steadfast in their refusal not to do a damn thing about it.
Let's be clear, Clark has never asked for special treatment. She's not complaining about every call. All she wants is to be treated fairly and protected from the constant fouls aimed at her. Instead, she gets attacked on the court and then criticized for speaking up about it.
I was losing it, and you guys were in chat like, what is going on? What is happening? How was that the call? After 15 minutes of deliberating, that's what you call? 3 texts and a flagrant 1? That's it? That's it? That is what they called. And it was so funny because on the broadcast, I'm not even sure who the male announcer was, but he was essentially like, what do you actually need to do to get ejected?
And that brings us back to the big worry. If Clark even hints at quitting, the league could fall apart. Casual fans will stop tuning in, and the players who've been working to support her will go back to playing in front of tiny crowds, sometimes just 1,500 people in nearly empty arenas.
Because this is the Caitlin Clark that we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records that year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games included the Indiana Fever?
Let's talk money. The WNBA has been losing money for years. Outside investors have kept the league going, and the NBA's support made Caitlin Clark a lifeline. Suddenly, people wanted to buy into the league. Now, that star player is thinking about stepping away, and that could change everything.
Headline at USA Today: WNBA TV ratings down more than 50% since Caitlin Clark injury. But this is not me highlighting the huge embarrassing failure in the WNBA. This is not me pointing out that this league is absolutely useless without the Roo from Waterloo. This is USA Today, the home of the Star Trek virgin Mike.
Clark has already made her mark and shaken up pro sports like never before. So why would she stick around, risking her body every night when the league won't have her back? She doesn't need the WNBA, but the league needs her desperately.
I hope Clark doesn't play. Fever should pack up, let the league fail. Obviously, they don't have her best interest at heart. It's a effing laughable. Sheldon Mayberry were allowed to continue to play.